All right, Shalom, Makim. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise and glory to Yahawah, BAHA YAHAWASHI, BAHA QADASH. I want to give double honors to your apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And I want to send salutations to all the Akim pushers worth in truth and sincerity. It's going to be a lesson done in spirit and power of Yahawah, BAHA YAHAWASHI, Lord willing to edify the flock of the Lord. All right, this is going to be a little quick lesson. This was shared by the beloved brother from the camp. And it just goes to show, man, because we always touch the point about how, these people with the funny hats, these are not the biblical Israelites because they don't fulfill the prophecies that will be fulfilled by the rulership of the real Israelites, okay? Because the scriptures talk about how when the Israelites come back in power, man, it's going to be a time of peace. The whole world is going to be seeking after those men, okay? Because basically through them, the law of righteousness is going to go out throughout the world. Okay, and that's not what you have right now with the people with the funny hats, man. That's why there's war everywhere in the Middle East right now. And this article basically breaks down how, as soon as they went into that country, man, where they, basically said that was their land, and they had the Balfour Declaration, okay, which that land was robbed because there was already people living there, even though those not the true inhabitants. They robbed that land, man, okay. That's what the scriptures say, a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. Okay? So, let's get a little bit of this article and we'll just hit a few scriptures and we'll close it out, man. Lord willing is edifying. So this is Robert in Lachish, how Israel's 1967 war paved the way for the turmoil in today's Middle East. On the anniversary of the Six-Day War, RT looks at how the conflict shaped the region. Okay, so on the 5th of June of 1967, a conflict which lasted only 6 days will go on to reshape the entire Middle East, overthrow secular Arab nationalism, and unite Tel Aviv with Washington, all of which would pave the way for Israel to be handed carte blanche by the world's most powerful country and prompt the U.S. policy that will go on to tear the entire region to pieces. All right, and that's completely contradictory of what the scriptures say will be the kingdom of Israel's rulership. You see, when Israel gets back in power, man, there's going to be peace in the earth, okay? Because they're going to be, first and foremost, reign is Yahawashi's kingdom, right? We're joint heirs with him, and one of his titles is the Prince of Peace, okay? Because even though he is bringing war, through that war is peace going to be established in the planet earth, okay? Righteousness, man, like it says in Peter's, and wherein dwelleth righteousness. And that's what we're seeking after, okay? So that's how we understand that, these people can't possibly be the Israelites, you see, because they don't fulfill none of the prophecies. You see, and the things that they say that they do fulfill, these things were created. They were orchestrated. Okay, that's why their women shave their head, to try to fulfill certain of the scriptures that would be basically the prophetic things that correlate with who the Israelites really are. Okay, because Jacob, he told his sons, that basically he gave them their lot, man, of what they will be experiencing in the latter days. Okay, so it says the Six-Day War of 1967 is often misconstrued in popular Western discourse as having represented a victory for liberal democracy, often presented as a battle between good and evil. The Jewish David and Arab Goliath, the real story of the Third Arab-Israeli War, was one of a shrewd but brutal political power play on the part of Israel, one that for better or for worse caused a restructuring of Middle East resistance to the West, as well as the U.S.-led bloc's policy in the region. All right, so basically, as soon as they went up in there, man, these nations wanted to make war against them. Okay, like it says right here, on June 5th, 1967, Israel launched Operation Focus, an aerial attack which wiped out the near entirety of Egypt's air force in a matter of minutes, ensuring what will become an overwhelming victory for the Israelis. Prior to the war, the assessment previously offered to Israel by U.S. President Lyndon Johnson was that the U.S. intelligence believed that the United Arab Republic, Egypt, would not attack, and that if it did, Israel will wipe the hell out of them. You see? So it says, and it just keeps adding, there's different... Apostle Gabar always brings up the point how, right after they signed the Balfour Declaration and they did the whole thing, I think the minutes or hours after, there was shootings and things of that nature, okay? Which, completely goes against what the scriptures say will be the rulership of the Israelites, okay? So let's get here in Isaiah 2, and we'll open up with this. So it says, Isaiah 2:1, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established. And this mountain is the government, that next rulership that's coming, where Esau's the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, shall be established in the top of the mountains and shall be exalted above the hills. And all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways. You see, and that's how it's going to be in the kingdom, man. These nations are going to flock to us. You see, because in us, there's going to be life. They ain't going to try to shoot us, man. They ain't going to be able to. Brothers are going to have a spiritual power, things of that nature. We're going to be gods again. Okay? So it says, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all the nations shall flow unto it. You see? And that's not happening right now. All these nations, they're flocking to it, but to make war against it, to bomb them, to kill them. You see? And many people shall go and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. All right. So, this is what's going to happen when the true Israelites are established over there, man. They're going to have kosher pork. They ain't going to be having a pink city over there in Tel Aviv. See, all these are clear signs that this is not the people, these are not the Heavenly Father's people, man. Okay, because of the way they carry themselves, the way they act. The scriptures say that the spirit that is in them is not upright. Okay, and they do foul things, man. They rob the world, okay, through the banking system, which we were going into at camp this past week. Okay, you had this man, Henry Ford, man. He basically said that if people understood the way that these banks operate, that there would be a revolution the very next day. All right, because, the way that these people have ruled, man, is in complete wickedness. When, the scriptures say that the Israelites are going to rule in righteousness, with their King David, with YAHAWASHI, okay? All in the spirit of the Father, man, Yahweh, okay? So it says, and shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares. And this is the clearest sign, for me, myself, that you could say, man, because, what do you have in the whole world right now? War. Hey, Israel's always at war. They have all kinds of their military, killing people, making people disappear, things of that nature. Okay? So it says, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, or take the military weaponry and basically go back into, agriculture, man. Peace activities, okay? And their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. You see? And what's going on right now in the world, war. And first and foremost, these Israelis, they're always involved in some type of conflict. Okay, whether it be with Syria, with the Iranians, with Hezbollah, okay, with the Gaza, okay, they all are being there's a condition of war in that place. That's what this article is basically going into. How when they went up into that land, contrary to what the scriptures say, that there will be peace, war broke out, man. It created, like it says right here, that will go on to tear the entire region into pieces, man. And that's not what the establishment of the nation of Israel, the true Israelites, is gonna do in the world, man. When they come into power, or when we go into power, righteousness, peace, okay, is gonna flourish in the planet Earth, just like it says here in Isaiah 32:17. But I'll run verse 16. Then judgment shall dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness remain in the fruitful field. And the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness, quietness and assurance forever. You see? And the world's not quiet, man. The world is in turmoil. There's war. Okay, the wicked are in authority. Okay? So it makes no sense that these people say that they're the true biblical Israelites, because they nothing that they do, nothing that they represent, man, fits the prophecies of who the Israelites will really be. Okay? And my people shall dwell in a peaceful habitation and in sure dwellings, in quiet resting places, and that's not what these people have over there. They're tormented every day throughout the world. Everybody hates them. Okay, and they don't hate them because of who they are. They hate them because of the way they act, the way they conduct themselves. They're ruthless, man. They're a ruthless people. Okay, so it says when it shall hail coming down on the forest, and the city shall be low in a low place. Blessed are ye that sow besides all waters, that send forth hither the feet of the oxen and the ass. All right, so that's just another cut to why these people are not the Lord's people. Okay, and I'll get this in Ezekiel 39:9, because there is a prophecy that says that we're gonna go around the world, basically destroying all the weapons of war, man. Okay, so that there's not gonna be no more guns, there's not gonna be no more bombs, grenades, landmines, none of that shit, man. We're gonna basically clean the earth off the blessing of the Edomite, man. Okay, which is all carnality. All right, this is Ezekiel 39:8. Behold, it is come, and it is done, saith the Lord power. This is the day whereof I have spoken. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth, and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shield and the buckler, the bows and the arrows, and the handstaves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years, so that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire. And they shall spoil those that spoil them, and rob those that rob them, saith the Lord power. All right, so, this is just another example, man. Why these are not the people. See, because there's so many prophecies that talk about how when Israel comes in power, man, there's going to be a peace. It ain't going to be, us having to go throughout the world and making war in a way that they're doing it right now in the world, man. When we go out and police the world, we're gonna put people down, man. It's not gonna be like they're gonna fight against us. We're gonna possess a high level of spiritual power, man. Okay, they're gonna fear us. You see. So I'll end up with this. This is Isaiah 60 and verse 16. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings. And thou shalt know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. For brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, for wood brass, and for stones iron. I will make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise, man. So, you see, this is what's prophesied of when the true Israelites come into power. This is the condition of their livelihood. This is how they're going to live. Like it says, violence shall no more be heard in thy land. And that's all you hear in the land of Israel at this time, in this period of time. Bombs being dropped, people crying, people lamenting, people getting kicked out of their houses and things of that nature. All right, because these are the people of the Most High's anger, man, the Edomites. Okay, so with that, I hope the lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahawah, BAHA YAHAWASHI, BAHA RAWCHAA. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to all you all can push his worth in truth and sincerity. When I say shalom.